القرآن للذكر فهل من مدكر.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Welcome to lesson number 2, and inshallah in this lesson you will be learning about how the letters are joined and what they look like once they have been joined in the beginning of a word, in the middle of a word, and at the end of the word. So let's get started straight away. The first letter alif, when it occurs in writing, then the alif stays exactly the same as it is, like a long stick. So when it occurs in the beginning of a word, then the alif stands by itself and is not joined to the letter which comes after. So in this example, here we can see that the alif is not joined onto the ba. The alif is written separately from the ba, but it's very close together. So this is how the alif is joined when it occurs in the beginning of a word. When the alif occurs in the middle of a word, which means that there is one or two letters that come before it, however, we're not concerned with the other letters, we're just concerned with the letter which comes directly before the alif, then the alif is joined on to the letter that comes before it. Now, the exception is if there is a letter like the alif which does not connect to something that comes after it, then it will be written like this by itself in the middle. Inshallah, you will notice these in the Quran. But generally speaking, the alif, when it is joined, in the middle is joined to the letter that comes before it, however, not joined to the letter that comes after it. Because like this, the alif does not join to a letter that comes after it. It only joins to the letter that comes before it. And if the alif occurs in the end of the word, so then it will occur as a long stick by itself, as an extension of the letter that comes before it. So the alif does not join onto a letter which comes after it. The alif stands by itself when it comes before a letter, however, it can be joined onto a letter which comes before it. Ba. Ba is a letter which can be joined to a letter in all cases. So when it occurs in the beginning of a word, then you can see that it loses half of its length, or a little bit more than half of its length, but it keeps the dot. So you know which letter is there. It's a ba. So the ba joins onto the letter after it, like so. When it occurs in the middle of a word, then again it keeps its same form as when it occurs in the beginning of a word. So it cuts off half the letter here and keeps its dot, and it joins onto the middle of the word. However, when the ba occurs at the end of a word, then it looks like its original letter form. So the letter before it joins onto the ba, and the ba looks like its full form letter with the full semicircle and dot underneath it. Ta is similar. So if you notice that these three letters, ba, ta, and tha, they have the same sort of shape. The only difference is the dots. So the ba has one dot underneath, ta has two dots on top, and tha has three dots on top. So these join on to letters exactly the same. So the ta loses half of its length in the beginning of a word. Again, in the middle of the word, it looks like exactly the same as it was in the beginning. However, when it's at the end of the word, then it looks in its original form, like this. And the same with tha. Of course, with the tha, it has two dots on top, and in its original two dots on top. Tha, the way we differentiate between ba, ta, and tha is that it has three dots on top. So again, loses half of its length in the beginning of a word, the same as when it is in the middle of the word, and the same uses its same form, its full form, its original form at the end of the word. With the letter Jeem, then normally the Jeem is one that loses its sort of hook at the bottom, and it keeps its top part, but it becomes straight. So when it's joined to the beginning of the word, it looks like this. It looks the same when it's joined in the middle of the word. However, again, just like the letters above it, it takes its original form at the end of the word. and it looks like this. So it looks like its original form. Again, these are all related, only differentiated by a dot. Ha has no dot, so ha looks like the Jeem loses its sort of hook, again in the beginning, in the middle. At the end of the word, it looks like its original form, the big ha. Same with kha, but the differentiation here is the dot on top of the top part of the letter. So you can see how it connects in the beginning, how it connects in the middle, and at the end, again, it takes its original form. Now the dal and the dhal, both of these are, in fact, the dal, dhal, ra, and za, or zai, are exactly like the alif. They do not connect to any letter which comes after it. However, they can be connected to something that comes before it. So you'll see that dal and ta here is not connected to the letter that comes afterwards. The dal is not connected to the letter that comes afterwards. The ra is not connected to the letter that comes afterwards. The difference between the dal is it's got a smaller shape. And dal is smaller shape with the dot on top. Ra is more of a shape that comes all the way down at the bottom here. And in the middle, it connects to which is before it, but not that which is after. And in the end, it is connected to that which comes before it. However, if an alif or a ra comes before the dal, then these are all separated. If any of these letters occur in the same, then they will be separate. Okay, inshallah, if a word comes like this in the Quran, you'll be able to notice it very clearly. The Sheen is the same. It connects with all letters. Sheen is not the same as the before, but it's a normal letter where it connects. It loses its sort of semicircle here, and it connects to the word if it comes in the beginning. It connects to a word if it comes in the middle, and it connects to both words. And in the end, it takes its original full form, like this. Same with Sheen, the difference is the 3 dots on top. So you've got the beginning, the middle, and in the end, it comes as its full form. Same with Sad, half a form in the beginning and in the middle. However, in the end, it takes its full form. Same with Dad, the differentiating thing is the dot here. And there you can see how it occurs in the beginning and the middle. And in the end, it takes its full form. With the Ta, it connects to that which comes from the beginning and the middle. And again, at the end, it takes its full form. Va, the difference is this dot differentiating from the Ta. It connects to that which is in the beginning. It also connects to that which is in the middle. And here, it takes the original form. Inshallah, I'll be changing this. This is something that you notice as you go along. Ayn looks like this in the beginning. So Ayn and Ghayn are slightly different. So Ayn looks like its top part here. Ayn looks like its top part here with the Sheen when we're in the beginning. However, when it occurs in the middle or the end, then it changes its form completely. It takes this form here. Now this is something that you need to learn. So you can see that in the middle, at the end, it takes a different form. It's almost like it's this, but with another connector over here when it's occurring at the end. So with the Ghayn, the differentiating point is the dot. And again, in the middle and the end, it takes a different form with a dot on top. With Fa, it loses its stick over here, and it loses half its letter. However, you can see there's a dot on the top. In the middle, it looks like this. At the end, it looks like its full form. The Qaf, it loses its semicircle at the bottom and has 2 dots on top. If you notice, the Qaf and the Fa look very similar. The differentiating point here is the dots. So Fa has 1 dot and Qaf has 2 dots. This is an important point to consider. In the middle, it's connected exactly like the Fa. It's got 2 dots, however. And at the end, it's in its full form and it's got 2 dots. Notice the fa and the qaf, you may get confused with it. However, always remember that the fa is a long straight one and qaf is a shorter circular shape with 2 dots. With kaf, although it has this, that does not occur when it occurs in the beginning or the middle of a word. So it takes this almost like a Z sort of shape, Z wrong way around, or a zigzag shape. So kaf, kaf, and when it comes at the end of the word, it takes its original form. Lam, it loses semicircle here in the beginning and in the middle, and again in the end it takes its full form. Meem loses a stick which occurs in the bottom, and it looks like this, connected. Same in the middle, and in the end it can have a stick. Now there's also another way that the Meem occurs in writing, and inshallah when it comes then I will be pointing it out. Noon, the reason why some of these will have not been written here is because in the standard typewriting format in the Arabic language, the keyboard, it does not occur. However, what happens is that I would have copied from specific Quranic software to show you how the Meem would occur in its different forms, and the same for Ha. So Noon loses letter, it's only the first part, and the dot moves the top part here. So it moves its position from the middle of the letter onto the top part, and that's how you can see the Noon as 1 dot. Do not get confused between the Fa and the Noon, because the Fa has a small little circle here, but the Noon is a straight line. So Noon is connected to everything in the beginning and also connects to the middle, and it takes its original and full form in the end. The Waw is a letter which does not connect to that which comes after it. So here you can see it's almost separated but written very close together. When it occurs in the middle, it connects to that which is in front unless that is also a letter which does not connect, and it does not connect to that which comes after. However, they're all written close together. And in the end, of course, it's being connected to the letter that comes before it. With the Ha, we can see here. Look at the way the Ha is written over here. It's a small circle. But when it's in the beginning, it takes this 2 circles. 2 circles. So this is something to consider, where the Ha has many different forms. So you need to take a look at it. With the Ha in the middle, it can take this form and another form, which inshallah you will be learning later on. That form is almost like a small little dip within the word, and it has a small little diacritic mark, which will show you that it's a Ha. But for now, just learn these 3 forms, or in fact these 4 forms. And when it occurs in the end, it looks again different. So with the Ha is probably the most diverse letter. It can be written in many different ways. The Hamza is, as you can see, there's 3 Hamza sections here. And the reason why there's 3 Hamza sections, because out of all of the letters, it is the most diverse. Even though Ha is very diverse, Hamza is the most diverse letter that how it can be written. So this is the form that it takes when it's written on this Ya. So when it's in the middle, it looks like this. When it's connected, it looks like this. And when it's in the end of a word, it can look like this with a Ya form, with a little Hamza on the top, or it can be a Hamza by itself, standing alone. However, it will only be a Hamza by itself when there's an Alif before it. Otherwise, this is normally written with this, or a Waw with a Hamza on top of it, when it's in the end, and also in the middle. Hamza can also be written on top of the Alif, and this only occurs like this in the beginning. In fact, let me reword that. It always occurs in this form when it is in the beginning of a word. So it's on top of an Alif. Always remember that an Alif is only a mad letter, and an Alif, if it occurs in the beginning of a word and it has a haraka on it, then it's not an Alif, it's a Hamza. And that's why in the Arabic printing of the Quran, you will find that the Hamza is always written on top of the Alif if it is mutaharrik, if it has a haraka on it. And you'll learn about harakat later on, so don't worry if you don't know what if you don't know what haraka is. In the middle of a word, it can also occur where it's written on top of an Alif. And in the end, it can also occur where it's written on top of an Alif. So this is the most common format of the Hamza, where it's written on top of an Alif. Now the Hamza, if it has a kasra, then it occurs and it is placed below the Alif. A kasra is one of the harakat which you'll be learning about later on. But for now, you need to learn that it can occur at the bottom of a Alif. And that happens in the beginning. There is no form where it occurs in the middle, but in a special word, saba, it occurs at the end of a word. And also another word, naba, which is Surah Al-Naba in the 30th juz of the Quran. So you can see that sometimes it occurs at the bottom of Alif. And the Ya has two dots that occurs here in the beginning. It loses its shape here, and it connects to the word before, and the word in the middle, and the word afterwards. Now in the computerized versions of the Quran, then the Ya, and in fact a lot of the Arabic scripts as well, the Ya does not have two dots. So this is something you need to be careful of. If you see the form like this, and sometimes it has no dots, it is also a Ya. However, it can also be another letter, but inshallah I will not confuse you with that for now. So this is how it occurs, and you should go on to this section over here, so you can practice the words in how they are written in the Arabic language when they are joined to each other. Inshallah, I will see you in the next lesson.
Salam Alykum. Be sure to download your free implementation workbook. We go through it step by step. All the videos correspond with it. We have laid it out very strategically so you can master Quranic Tajweed and Quranic Mastery and implement it while you go along. Okay, so be sure to download this and it will help you on your journey. It's free to download. The link should be in the description. Assalamu alaikum. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please like this video so we know you enjoy it, as we can make more. Please write a comment and tell us what you thought about the lesson. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.